Hi, my name is Timo,
And I'm Ploy.
and we are
International
International
Pulse.
Pulse. We're two international students navigating life in the US.
And we're here to share the real talk.
So grab your coffee and let's get into it. This is International Pulse. And today we have our extra special guest, Peem.
Hi.
Hi. Peem is a law student who graduated in 2025 recently, and she graduated in Kent College at IIT. So yeah, we really welcome you here. Let's say hi and introduce yourself to the audience again.
Hello, everyone. My name is. I'm a law graduate from Thailand. Nice to meet y'all.
Nice to meet
Ooh,
you. How are you doing
exciting.
today, Peem?
It has been a really hot day in Chicago. So,
Totally. It feels like an oven in here. For
It
real.
is. So before we jump in, let's do a quick like ice breaking. Timo and Ploy is our nickname, and we have like our names behind it. So our meaning behind it. So I want to ask you, what does P mean, and how do you get this name?
so I was born in Halloween Day, and my father named me after the definition of being brave. So, Peem means brave, maybe just to have enough courage to find jobs here.
Totally. That really like your name really needs to like put it up for now.
Yeah.
Really
You're gonna
require a
need
lot of
it.
courage.
You're gonna need a lot of courage to find a
Totally.
job here.
Right.
So yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna start with background and motivation. And yeah, Ploy, you wanna start doing the questions?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, like I know that you graduated from Thailand with the undergrad and now you're in the US. And first of all, why the US?
The US is one of the most dynamic place in terms of like legal environment. There are many case studies, and of course, people are progressive. As a lawyer, I think it's one of the interesting place that we might have some interesting case study and
Hmm.
maybe able to learn something useful and bring it back to Thailand.
Ooh, cool, awesome. And have you been in the US before you came this time?
Yeah, I have been here before.
Where
Cool.
on what like occasion did you come here?
I was a summer student in the college where I graduated.
Mm.
Hmm.
So that means you were in Chicago before.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that definitely Chicago must attracted you in some way, so you came back.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay. All right. So
But yeah,
I don't. Yeah, Timo, you next.
I remember you also study law in Thailand and you also study law in UK and now you study law in the US. Can you take us through like the difference between each of them? Let's start with Thailand.
Well, in Thailand, you know that there are many students in one faculty, in one department. So when
How
you
many?
have, um, well, I graduated from LLB, which is like international program in Thailand with Thammasat University. So
Hmm.
our batch is around 150 students, if I can recall. So whenever we have a class, we would have like the one huge lecture hall, and it's a lecture based. Sometimes without interacting with professors, lecturing students for that particular class, and at the end of the day, we go home, something like that. But in the UK and in the US, especially during this kind of like postgraduate degree, we would have a smaller class, especially from students from all around the world, and it's more interactive and engaging,
Mm-hmm.
different from Thailand, where we just only sitting still and taking notes from whatever the professor said.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
And what about in the US? Your first
Mm.
week in the US, what is like studying law here?
Whoa, oh my God. That's still a scary moment because my first time culture shock of being called to answer questions, especially like we are new here, Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So that sounds like a very different like experience shift, right? From being in a lecture room where there's little to no interaction and then come here. I wanted to learn more actually, specifically about the culture of law school in the US. How different specifically? Like, can you take us through what a day in like law school class gonna be like?
So in the US, you normally have assignments, reading assignments that you need to finish before the class. Whether is it necessary to finish all the reading assignments? I would probably say yes, because participation is counted as marking criteria. So once you review anything that you need to read before the class, and after that, you're just going back to your cycle, reading, studying, something like that. But still, you might have some free time during the day or during the weekends to just enjoying the city, especially Chicago. There's lots of things to do. So yeah, it's probably like the day to day like that, typical one.
I see. That's really cool. How many days do you study per week as a law postgraduate student?
Well, one of the things that the U.S. is different from the rest of the world is that our students mostly study along with JD students. JD student is like the graduate school for
Mm.
American lawyers, so it's 3-year program. And students, as a degree student, mostly they are international students, would take class along with a JD. And yeah, so that's how we study with American students and American law.
Mm.
I see. That's really cool. You said that you have time to do like fun things outside of the classes as well, right? On your first year, your first semester, what are the fun things that you did? How
You
would you
know,
like cool down from school?
Mm-hmm.
because I told you that we have classes like, yeah, I forgot to mention, sorry, answering questions, that we have like schedule like high school students,
Mm.
from Monday to Friday, sometimes Saturday, depends on your course and if
Yeah.
your professor want to make up class. So that's really tough. And fun thing to do as a law student is to not doing a reading assignment, going outside, having
Mm-hmm.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I do in still doing in Chicago is exploring new restaurants and
Yeah.
trying to catch up with friends. But sometimes like they're still now finding jobs and preparing for the bar, still busy with studying. You know, so it's hard for sometimes students to hang out. But we live like normal student, going to the bar, having fun, doing outdoor activities, something like that.
Oh
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
so I follow like Peem on Instagram, and then she always posts like reviewing like restaurant. So like I'm like fascinating for real. Like, I kind of know like where to go, like basically. Yeah, and then for sure, I think in Chicago that is something that the easiest thing that you can do, which is like okay, exploring new restaurant because in Chicago, new restaurant popped up like a mushroom. I would say just a lot. Cool. All right. So now let's, as we're talking about like classes, so what would you say is your like I know that in laws industries do you have the specialties like there are different kind of laws. They have immigration laws. They have I don't know accounting something like that. So what would be
Criminal or something.
yeah criminals. So what would you say is like the field or the specialties that you want to go for?
Well, I graduated from IP law, intellectual property law.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I chose this program is that I'm interested in technology and the rights of particular products. When
Mm,
you invent your own product, you want to own it. So that's
sure.
kind of like inspired me to pursue this area of law. Probably like most of lawyers who choose their expertise would have some, passion in those
Mm.
particular area. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just about like patent or something along those lines, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Cool. All right.
That's really cool. Now then, let's shift gear into academic experience. What it's really like to study law in the US. And I think our biggest question is like, you study law in Thailand and also in UK. And when you shift to another country, do you find a lot of difference? Like what is like transitioning into new country and learning a new law?
Well, the most difficult part is to understand the culture and be able to adjust to the classroom environment. Especially in most of the country, they have the lecture-based class, but in the U.S. is more of interacting and advocating your idea and how you interpret this case and stuff like that with your classmate or even professors. So it's more like a seminar, most of the time.
Mm.
I see. So you get to like answer a lot of impromptu questions you didn't like get to prepare before.
Yeah.
Totally. That's how intense it is for laws.
Oh my god. Naden, what is your favorite class?
My favorite class is design law. I love it.
Yeah, tell me more about it. It's like, what is it about?
So the design law is actually terms of the area of the product. For example, if you have the product design of certain stuff like bags, clothes, or even the restaurant layout, that is
Let's
like
on
the design.
layout. Wow. I never heard of this before.
Yeah, it's more like the design. Everything that fits into the definition of the design and is overlapping area of intellectual property like trademarks, trade dress, design patent, or even copyrights as well.
Wait, I'm really interested in the layout.
The rest,
Literal
yeah.
layout.
Like, how
So
come?
basically, when you like start a restaurant, you cannot have the same like restaurant layout as somebody else.
Well, I wouldn't say that you can monopolize the idea, but it's more like
Okay.
how you design the restaurant layout. For example, there's one famous restaurant in one city, and then the restaurant has been closed down due to the war. There is one tricky businessman try to copy the restaurant layout and pretend to be that famous restaurant that has been closed. So it's more
Oh.
like they try to, um, you know, copy the identity of certain products.
Oh. Okay, so it's not really like a physical layout. It's more like identity. I thought like, oh, you're gonna have the front desk in the front, or like you're gonna have the
Oh,
counter in the back.
it's more like the identity as well, and some
Okay.
most of the case would be also physical design. Like if
Mm.
you have a lipstick and certain angles of the lipstick and the lip, I don't know what the product is, they might like patent those lipstick design or even like
Mm.
the angle. It shouldn't be the same stuff like that. That's how nuanced it is. And the color of the
Oh,
lipstick could be part of the design as well.
totally,
Oh,
totally.
wow. That's
And
really
like a
cool.
bigger brand would have like 100 shades of reds, and then you
Mm,
have to make sure it's not like a duplicate of any others.
yeah, but there's like a step of consideration and stuff. But overall, they just try to not let anyone copy their
Mm.
idea. So that's the main thing for those
Mm.
like um who is the inventors.
Cool. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, now I feel the fun of it now.
That's
Hmm.
really interesting. And speaking of like copyright, I think you have to mention that US, we have this culture of like duping products, right? That is a lot of
Hmm.
places, and I mean consumer as well, are also aware and like at some time advocate them as well. I wonder does this kind of like fall into the class that you were studying, and do you have any comment about them?
Yeah, that's definitely like a hot topic for intellectual property law as well as a design area, because once you invent something, you want to own it. But at the
Mm.
same time, it would be in terms of like economic discussion whether it would impede the economic activities or not, or discourage the new inventions to be in the market, something like that. So the dual product is an interesting area.
A
Totally,
gray
totally.
area.
It
Mm-hmm.
is because actually in business like class or like in basically in the industries, we also talk a lot about fast fashions and dupes as well because it is something that is like is definitely going on. Like you, if you go to like a drugstore, you can see that the cosmetics like some brand look exactly the same.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because honestly, in engineering, duping is it's hard to like stop and like hard to like prevent. And honestly, people don't really care much because internet is such a wide place. Sometimes people
Totally.
will be like, you can copy my code and just change something.
So there is actually like a well balance of the fair use in certain purpose of use, in copyright law, and law cannot be extreme, but there could be like some limitation for appropriate circumstances.
Mm,
Mm,
totally. To protect the right.
Hmm.
okay. Now then,
Oh.
please let us know what is the class you hate the most.
Yeah. Like everyone else, I hate the class that would involve about something, many rules and things to remember. Even as lawyers, like any other students, we hate reading a lot and memorizing stuff like that. Trying to understand some complex things, we're just lazy. And that class is
I don't blame you.
professional responsibility. Yeah, I hate that class because there's many rules to remember and sometimes it's vague. We need to interpret it a lot. So I don't like
Oh wow.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, totally. I mean, that's fair. I bet that like as a law student, you already have to like kind of living on like with that laws like textbooks or articles
it.
like that.
Hmm.
So yeah.
But
Alrighty.
yeah, I wonder like when you say remember, that means this specific class they don't allow like a textbook, right? Only just your brain.
Ooh.
Okay,
Wow.
okay, that's interesting.
What is your brain are made of, people?
Yeah, that's kind of difficult questions because I still think that how could I remember all of like the numbers of pages and articles like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, when you watch like laws, like shows, like TV shows,
Mhm.
they can remember like exact lines that like
Mhm.
page
Mm,
50, line 4, like something like that. It's just, I think it's very cool that like you can
Yeah.
remember the exact line. Like, wow. If
I
you
think
watch
it's more
Suit.
like that. So it's more like understanding the things and you try to interpret in your own words. And in order to understand something, you need to memorize it, like make it
Definitely.
embed in your deeper part of your brain, something like that.
Wow.
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 Okay.
So these days, like 90% of your brain's kind of full of like text, like,
I'm trying to have some space for entertainment as well.
please do, please do.
Yes,
You
please. Yes,
need
please.
that.
Now then, I think our last question is, I mean, for this topic, does studying legal and law in English difficult? It is different from like studying it in Thai.
Well, well, the law is territorial in nature, and in order to reflect what the community is, sometimes the language could tell you something about certain countries, right? Law is the same. So in the US, you have legal English. So that's like separate terminology of English
Mm.
universe, something like
Totally.
that.
Yeah,
Oh.
totally. And I think that like even English, like fluent English speaker also have a difficulties to understand like laws language because like you guys kind of set up different kind of sentence structures and some way of speaking. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely it must be challenging.
yeah, totally.
Okay. All right. Now, the question now, let's step outside the class. Talking about, I know that you guys, you might have a lot of classes, like time in a week you spend most of the time study, go to class. How do you like make friends or how do you find like professional connections outside of the classroom as a law student?
Well, I love the word professional connections because networking is the most important part in the law school as well. Like I've listened to you guys' podcast and you mentioned something about networking. That's one of the things that in Chicago again or other law school, even like the law mentor, they try to emphasize these things. It's not only about like being friends, having fun with your classmates, but it's also about networking, getting to know them, and in the future for professional purpose, something like
Yeah.
that. Like normal student, we make friends from classes, societies, or even like you meet in the cafeteria, you ask someone, "Hi, what's your name?" and be friends. You know, it's easy to be friends in America. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that I think is easy, like, may not easy. maybe like more straightforward comparing to
Mhm.
other countries, especially in the US, because you can basically like, you want to make friends with someone, just ask, hey, when I have lunch, let's go. And it is something that that kind of shocked me in the beginning as well. But in a way, it's kind of easy.
It really is the US culture
Totally,
experience.
totally, totally.
Yeah. Now then, I want to ask about you being Thai and does Thai identity influence your experience studying law in the US? Does people come to you and ask for your like Thai experience or like Thai law expertise?
Yeah, totally. So in the US, as a master degree program, so mostly you study the class with the JD student who is American students mostly. Also, you get to share your own experience. For example, like the case study in Thailand, how we navigate the regulations, how we interpret in certain circumstances like that. So being Thai is really helpful in terms of like I can advocate this idea because the US hasn't experienced this issue before. So that's really helpful in terms of like academic purpose. But as a Thai person, they love Thai food, so sometimes like they ask about Thai food, like do you know tom yum? Do you know tom
Oh my
kha?
god.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, like this is kind of off topic a little bit, but every time when I got a new job or like meet some new people and all like Americans who met me, and when they know that I'm Thai, the first question or even maybe like the first 10 question, this would go, one of them is that, what is your favorite Thai food, or where is a good Thai food in Chicago?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
that's
answer,
right.
yeah, like this is happen every time,
All the time.
all the time. What's your favorite Thai food? Where do you find a good Thai food? And this is off topic but funny. So there's one like colleague, he asked me like, "Oh, I really love Thai food. Like I really love Thai food. Like what is your favorite Thai restaurant?" And I just recommended to him. He's like, "Oh yeah, I love crab ragoon." Oh my god.
Someone just asked me
Oh
that.
my gosh. If those Americans went to Thailand and if they could find crab ragoons, I'm gonna pay them like I'm gonna buy them 50 crab ragoon in the US. For real. You will
Yeah.
not find crab ragoon in Thailand.
I mean, I wanna really illustrate for people who have never had crab rangoon. Crab rangoon is a the gyoza flour, the dumpling flour,
Oh
and they
yeah.
wrap it in cream cheese. And like cream cheese, like Thai people is like lactose intolerant, and cream cheese fried, deep fried. That is so American. This
Yeah.
is nothing Thai
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, and they, you know, one part that is kind of sound Thai for crab ragoon is that they dip into like the sweet chili sauce.
Oh my god, that is just imagine fried dumpling with
Yeah,
cream cheese
and also
inside.
this off topic, but I'm, yeah, it's off topic. I'm gonna add it anyways. So I just know that like in some countries or maybe most countries, maybe like China or Taiwan, Japan, anyways in Asia, if they eat something with the sweet chili sauce, they would call that Thai something. For example,
Really?
I swear, if you see fried chicken and they dip, like either dip it or like, yeah, kind of like coat it with the
Hmm.
sweet chili sauce, they would call it Thai chicken.
Yeah,
I
actually
swear.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's kind
I
of
never
true.
noticed.
Or yeah, or like if you have some anything, like anything that comes with Thai like sweet chili sauce, they would call it Thai, Thai fish, Thai chicken, Thai, Thai whatever, Thai noodles. Yeah, but this is funny. So one of
Really
the
cool.
culture shock.
Wow, so Peem, I remember you go
Yeah.
to a lot of like restaurants. So what's your favorite Thai restaurant in Chicago?
Well, to be honest, I haven't tried so many Thai restaurants. I would try other cuisines instead, like Korean food or maybe
Mm.
somehow Mexican food, because Chicago
Oh
is a great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna tell
Awesome.
us a restaurant or what?
I'm gonna gatekeep it. I'm just joking. So,
Gatekeep.
I like the restaurant called, I don't know how to spell it, like pronounce it, but it's called Sian, like Syal. It's just like the chicken soup with a whole hen. And
Is it Korean? Like Korean like soup, right? I think I know what
yeah,
is it. I think I had it in Korea before. It was really good. It's like a
Yeah.
herbal soup, and then you have like the whole like chicken.
Yes,
Chicken is boiled, right?
it's
Yeah,
boiled.
yeah, and usually come in like a hot like bowl.
Yeah. So Sal SS.
All right. Okay,
I'm,
I'm gonna try this place.
I'm so hungry right now. It's 10 p.m.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's really close to my office.
Oh yeah.
It's really close to my office. Okay, I'm gonna go here.
Have
Okay,
great.
yeah. We learned something today.
Yeah. Hey.
Noted. Let's jump back in. Let's talk about career and internship. Did you have an intern again?
Fortunately, my program doesn't offer an internship opportunity compared to other programs. But just to note that in other law schools, they may have internships as a part of program as well, like for CPT, something like that. But unfortunately, I never interned anywhere.
I see. Well, it's fine. Now that you graduated, how is job hunting like in the law industry? And does being like international student affect you in some way?
Well, it's really hard as a law student as well, and being international graduate or you have no identity in the U.S. like those green card holders or citizens, it's even harder. It's really competitive, just like any other majors, and it is even harder that we are not licensed lawyers because in order to practice law as an attorney at law or giving advice to clients representing them, we need a license. Without a license, so you wouldn't get a job as a lawyer, but you would get like legal supporting roles like paralegal, legal assistant, something like that before waiting to be licensed in certain states.
Can you tell us more about getting the license? What's the process and I don't know, the timeline, how long does it take to get a license?
Well, it really depends on the states because in order to practice law, you need to be licensed in certain states. You might have heard something about New York bar, California bar, something like that. And you just only need, I mean, it depends on the qualification of each state, but all in all, if you graduate from the US law school, you are able to sit in those exams and yeah, if you pass the exam, you are be able to practice the law in certain states that you are licensed in.
Are you studying for one right now?
Yeah, it's really
Good
hard.
luck.
With that sigh,
Yeah, good luck and be brave.
be
With
be
you are.
Peem.
Peem.
Yeah.
Keep peeming.
Okay, keep teaming.
Woohoo. All right. So you told us that you came here in 2024 and now you graduated. One
Hmm.
year's in. What do you think that like you have changed throughout the year you're living here or like going to school here with like in American school with American education living in Chicago? So what would you think that like looking back comparing from then to now, how much you have grown or what you feel like you have changed?
I think as a law student in the US, you need to be self-disciplined. You need to keep
Mm,
up with your goals. And in the US, I always see everyone is so progressive and
mm-hmm,
they have their goals, life objectives. As
totally.
a law student here in the US, especially having a reading assignment and you need to invest yourself in order to achieve that goal. So I become more like mission driven person, more
Mm,
progressive, and that's how the US has taught me to be a better person and
mm-hmm.
know what I want to do with my life. So that's I really appreciate the American cultures in this aspect.
Yeah, totally. We
Yeah.
can, yeah, we can definitely relate it. Me and Timo,
American
definitely.
really make us workaholic. Anyone who come here and like want to stay, I guarantee you they're gonna be workaholic.
They will, definitely.
So yeah, I wanna ask more about what kind of advice would you give to like international student coming and studying law abroad?
Say, especially in the US, just question yourself, what do you want to do with this degree? And the US is a really interesting place and where you get to experience in many kind of different area of law especially is like the growing industry in the US or with lots of business startups like you guys are doing right now, lots of innovations. So my advice is to ask yourself, what do you want to take it from the US or even the country that you are going to study there?
Awesome.
That's
Not
very
an,
great.
yeah, that's really solid advice. What do
Mm-hmm.
you wish you knew before coming to study law in the US?
Which I could make more professional networks. I wish I
Mm,
could learn from others more than like staying with my friends or
Mm.
joining more societies. That's what I wish.
no, no. Yeah, you can still make it, Peem. I mean, good luck making
Thank you.
connections network. It's not too
Yeah.
late. That's what I'm
It's
saying.
never too late. Never.
I wanna dig deeper. Like the Thai community. Do you have like legal Thai lawyer community in the first place? Is it like a big supported group internationally?
Well, I would say, especially in Thailand, you know that the university in Bangkok has a really small circle, or even like as a certain industry career. And being a lawyer is even smaller when you come to the US. Not a lot of people would come and study in the US because they might want to study in the UK or even in
Mm.
Australia. So that's when you kind of, it's a small world and it's kind of everyone is connected. I can definitely say this word and you kind of know who study in certain universities, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many other Thai colleague did you have in your like year?
I'll let you guess.
I mean,
Okay.
10?
Wow. That's really a good number. Sorry, only two.
Oh my god. Okay. Wow, that's a lot less than I
Okay.
expected.
Mhm.
Totally.
Actually, before we move on, I think I saw it on Instagram one time that you went on like a networking event and there was like a transgender judge.
Mhm.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I want to dig deeper. Like US is somewhat like open and innovative about like gender and dilemma and everything. But I remember you mentioned it was a big deal, a big thing happening. What did they say and like what was the event about again? And how do you like remember feeling listening to their talk?
So the thing is that there are many societies in our law school, and LGBTQ is one of the societies here in the U.S. And when you talk about advocating for the minority group, that's really important as a part of being lawyers here in the U.S. So there are many societies, and in the law school, in that particular function, it's the first event about someone being they are the first transgender judge in the state because normally in the US it's even I'm gonna tell you the truth, some industry are still conservative. At the same time they trying to be more liberate. And this is the event where they talk about how they are being accepted like compared to 30 years ago, how the community evolved, something like that. And in that particular function, that's how you can connect to the person that share similar background as a minority group. And that's how you make okay professional networking as well. And that it starts from there. That's interesting move how the U.S. was being like progressive compared to 30 years ago, especially in Illinois. Yeah.
Mm. Wow, that's big.
Transgender judge. I think like that's a progressive thing.
Yeah, it's such a big step. Very impressive. Cool. All right. So I think as now we coming to toward the end of the podcast, and I want to keep it like fun and like kind of lightheaded. So I think you kind of mentioned a little bit about like why you jump into the laws, or like something like that. But do you have any like inspiration or something that kind of motivates you into laws that may be like fun? For example, like maybe legal show or movie that you like.
That's a very interesting question. So many of my colleagues joined the law school because they watched the series Suit. But movie could be inspiration. But for me, it's more like when I see someone walking out the court. So my high school is near the local court in Thailand, and when I
Oh.
see them, wow, they look really cool in suits. So that's how it inspired me. I want to work in that building. There's an AC there. In Thailand, it's really hot. Yeah.
Actually, I'm kind of same way, to be honest.
Mm,
Why I joined like business school, because wow, they look great in like formal business costumes. I'm like, I want to have like my own like office and like that. So yeah, that's very fun. Yeah, and
Manifestation.
yeah, and I think that's like when you say that, oh, they look good in suit, and like the TV, the legals dramas named Suit is really big in the U.S. So I'm not so surprised. Right, it would inspire a lot of people.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I wonder. I want to ask more about the clothing that U.S. lawyer have. I feel like they're more creative and open, right? If you talk about Asian country, it'd just be suit or blazer or something like that.
Yeah.
How does the U.S. lawyer dress? What's the weirdest dress that you ever seen?
Well,
Impress you?
I think it's like a business major somehow. You need a business attire to be polite, especially if you go to any authority buildings, or contact with encounter clients. You want to make it more trustworthy. But the most bizarre things that I've seen, I rarely see anyone wearing like the short dress or something like that, and more revealing. But one time I remember I went to the court and female lawyer, she wear like a blazer, something like that. It's more revealing and their
Hmm.
like tattoo is visible, something like that.
Oh.
But it's just like before the court proceeding. But during the court proceeding, if you have any of an improper dress that you think that might be scolded by the judge, sometimes the judge like, oh wait, but that's rarely happen. You just put on the coat, something like that. So yeah, that's the more bizarre things I've seen.
Yeah. That actually is something that I don't think would happen in Thailand for sure. Yeah,
Mm,
Thailand is very strict, especially if you go to like some kind of like officials, like, authorities, like you said.
yeah,
Okay.
pink hair as well. The weirdest one.
Oh,
Okay, that's really cool.
that's cool.
What would you wear if you were a lawyer? Your first day as a lawyer, what would you wear?
Mm.
I would wear a dress and dye my hair maybe pink because I saw they allow them to be in a court, so why not? But in Thailand,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you gotta
you
make
cannot
the
do
most
it.
out of it.
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's fitting for the intellectual property kind of like. So
Totally, totally.
like, I know
I
art, I
know.
know design, I speak that language.
Interesting take though.
Oh yeah. Well, again, thank you for being here, Peem, and thank you for letting us know what it's like to be a law student in the U.S. Again, good luck with all your endeavors and like job hunting and getting your license and everything. Now then, let's do a quick like goodbyes. What else? What remarks do you have like for the audience, for international student, or even people who's working with international student? What would you like to like
Can I
say to
leave
them?
it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially if you're working with international students, I would say they are mission driven. They are ready to commit to your workplace, or even if you're international students, I know that you have worked hard to come here and to find jobs. I wish you all the best, but I'm sure that we are all like in the same boat, so we will be hired someday.
Period.
Period.
All
Hey.
right.
All
Well,
right.
if you enjoy this podcast, please give us a like, follow, and subscribe. Also, talk about this with your friend. Talk it with your boss, with your husband, with your wife, with your enemies, with your butler or anything. Yeah, the more people listening to this podcast, the more we can spread the word. Again, thank you so much for joining. And we are International
International
Pause.
pause. Okay.